So we'll start off with the box office report for the weekend. Now, it is the Labor Day weekend in the US this weekend. So it's a 4-day weekend. However, the only weekend estimates are for the 3-day right now. So we're going to be covering the 3-day. The 4-day will look a little bit different, but pretty much the same. So number one, you got the Equalizer 3, which is debuting with 34.5 million. Second, you got Barbie with 10.6 million, dropping 29.7% at 609 million total. At third, you got Blue Beetle at 7.2 million, dropping 40.2% at 56.5 million. At fourth, you got Gran Turismo with 6.5 million, dropping a whopping 62.4% at 28.6 million total. And at number five, you got Oppenheimer with 5.5 million, that dropped 33% for a 304.7 million total at the domestic box office. Some milestones for this weekend. So the Equalizer 3 set to be it is the biggest second biggest Labor Day weekend of all time, which is second to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings opening weekend. Barbie is the biggest Warner Brothers film of all time with 1.38 billion. Blue Beetle is a box office juggernaut with 100 million worldwide across that massive milestone. Oppenheimer debuted in China for a 5-day weekend of 30.2 million. That pushes it past it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for the third biggest movie of the year and globally. It also passed Inception for Nolan's biggest movie that doesn't have Batman starring in it. It also beat Deadpool for the second highest grossing R-rated film of all time. And fun little fact to add on him, the top 3 films of the year they're not a part of any pre-existing franchise. And that's the first time that's happened since 2001. If it sticks, that is. And in 2001, the top 3 was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone, wherever you are, Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, and Monsters, Inc. And all of them are now franchises. And so we know that Barbie's going to be a franchise. We know that Mario's going to be a franchise. Oppenheimer 2 could come. We don't even know. But I thought that was an interesting fun fact to add on. Nayan, what are your thoughts on the box office for this weekend?
I'm actually quite surprised by Equalizer 3. I didn't realize it would make that much, to
I
be
know.
honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's real surprising. And I guess with results like that goes to show why there's 3 films. Because people obviously go turn up for this, and then you also have Denzel Washington as the main character as well, and we all know that he's quite a significant draw.
Yep.
So yeah, when you said that, I was like, wow, 34.5 million, really?
Yeah.
For a third film. But hey, that's pretty cool. Barbie still in number 2 for what, 7th, 8th weekend now? 7th?
Yes.
7th.
Yeah. 7th weekend. Yep.
7th weekend. That's pretty good, and it shows that those drops are they're not massive drops. They're like still under 30s, so that's pretty good. It can goes to show that it's going to leg it out quite a bit.
Yeah.
100 million for Blue Beetle. I mean, I guess that's a win for Warner Brothers, considering
Worldwide, it costs like 104 to 120 million to make, not including
oh,
marketing. Yeah.
it's getting there. It's almost there.
Slowly but surely, right?
Yeah. I think the big one is Oppenheimer with this massive China debut. We could see it potentially dethrone Bohemian Rhapsody as the highest grossing biopic film.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That
And
is
hopefully
cool.
it does get there. I think it's like 950 mil is its target, right?
Yes. It's around there. Yeah. It could swing for 1 billion. It could swing for just under Bohemian, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some pretty good results, and otherwise a quiet period for box office and films.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I think that's what we're going to be seeing for at least the next month. It's going to be quite a quiet time in box office. I can't recall anything massive that's opening in the next month. And then the next one is Taylor Swift Eras Tours. We'll get to that later. But yeah, there is not much. It wouldn't have been Dune. I believe there's some good stuff coming in October, but September's for sure a quiet one. You'll get
Yeah.
your little hits like The Nun 2 and stuff like that. But nothing major or significant. They'll just perform as you kind of expect them to perform. But yeah, overall these kind of the milestones that I mentioned they're quite interesting. Barbie being the biggest Warner Brothers film of all time. That's no one really saw that coming, but it also kind of makes me wonder how Warner Brothers, such a historic and iconic studio, it's never done anything more than 1.38 billion, which I think it passed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 to get that, which is surprising, but really, really good on its part. Equalizer 3. I was very wrong about my prediction. I predicted 34 for the 4-day weekend, not 34 for the 3-day weekend. But it goes to show that Denzel Washington is just, he's a cinematic treasure. That guy is a draw at the box office. We can't really deny that. But yeah, Oppenheimer still making headlines with its box office. Don't know how it's going to leg it out, but that billion there, it's looking like it could be in sight. It's going to be quite interesting to see that how that plays out as we enter this kind of quiet period for the box office. Yeah. All right. So